will say, I think this album is very MAGA-coded.
Taylor Swift's got a new album out, Life of a Showgirl. Do you think she's trying to have it both ways, keep that country bass?
This album was written for cringy, happy, millennial, conservative women.
She did back Kamala Harris. Taylor Swift's got a new album out, Life of a Showgirl. It's not been her most critically acclaimed album. It's got very mixed reviews. Even the Lefty Guardian gave it 2 stars. The fans are mixed. You've got a theory about this album, though. You think it's got some subliminal messages in there?
Yeah, so I think, first I want to start off by prefacing the people that are critiquing the music of the album and the lyrics, because they refer to her as the Shakespearean lyricist of our generation. So it's a pop record.
Yeah.
And pop music, by the way, is not complicated. It's very simple, it's catchy, it's quick. So there's not going to be anything truly, truly deep. But I will say, I think this album is very MAGA-coded. But I think she does leave a little bit of the progressive openness there so that she can still have that bass. But it's very MAGA-coded.
So she MAGA-coded,
Yeah.
right? So you think there's some subliminal support for the Make America Great ideals in the music? Give us some examples.
I think the conservative movement in general, she's speaking to the base. And by the way, in this album, she's softly addressing traditional values, conservative values, family, building a legacy, things like that. She wrote a song called Wish List, and she says in her lyrics, I just want you, have a couple kids, got the whole block looking like you. Now that's very traditional for like a Taylor Swift to come out.
What does the got the whole block looking like you mean?
You know, she's very happily married to Travis. She wants to make...
engaged.
Well, excuse me, yes. She wants to have, you know, the whole block looking like him, which refers to her wanting to have a lot of kids with him. And for Taylor Swift, you know, people love her in her messy era. They love her in her heartbroken era. But now that she's happy, this album is written for cringy, happy, millennial, conservative women.
Isn't that why it's written for cringy, happy? Let's do that. Cringy, happy, millennial, conservative women. This is the album for. It has also been controversial for other matters. In fact, actually, you know, let's look at sort of Taylor Swift's journey from country singer to, you know, sort of all-American wholesome girl. You know, there was a big shock when she swore in her first album a few years ago. This goes a little bit further. There's some pretty sexually charged lyrics in this one, which you weren't necessarily expecting from someone who has been described as boring Barbie. But I mean, she talks about her fiance's manhood, should we say, in a song appropriately titled called Wood.
Yes.
And then she also talks about her own sexual desires in a way that she's never really done so explicitly before. Yes, it's all there in the prose, but it's not exactly explicit. To counter your theory, it's actually going the other way. This is sort of Taylor slightly more unleashed and being a little bit more risque rather than traditional.
So Reputation, that album was pretty risque. But I will say this is that openness that she's leaving for that progressive left base. However, it is under the guise of how happy she is in wanting to build a legacy, a marriage, a family, have lots of kids. I mean, in this album, the conservative traditional values outweigh her poking at that side.
Do you think you're going to be a bit of an outlier on this one? Do you think there's a widespread consensus that this is where it's going?
I think this is the consensus. I think I'm reading the room. I think Taylor Swift actually read the room, and instead of coming out and making a bold political statement, which she's done multiple times in the past, and it hasn't fully worked with her, I think she sort of was like, you know, I kind of want to play a little ambiguity here. I want people to take it for what it is. But, you know, people want to say 24/7 that Taylor and Travis are super woke because they've had certain stances. But they are showing a traditional path to having a big family, and she talks about wanting a quiet life over this showgirl, sell your soul version that she's been living out.
Now she's made the 2.5 billion and jetted around America. She did back Kamala Harris. She drew a big backlash from her base. I know why we're spending so much time on this, but she is, you know, a massive cultural icon in this country of significance. She does have weight when she does throw her sort of Instagram armies and legions behind it, which she did for Harris, maybe reluctantly. Yeah. There was a big backlash, actually, from her traditional base, her original base, the country music base, when Toby Keith, the country singer, died a few years ago, and she didn't come out and really say anything. He was a man who was incredibly critical of Donald Trump and of the left. Is she trying? Do you think she's trying to have it both ways? Keep that country base, and also the younger, more progressive showgirl crowd.
So I think she's just a normal woman like any of us, but she entered the music business. And I think her journey and what she's experienced with producers and in life, you know, in your 20s, you go through a lot of transforming experiences, right? So I think she has truly landed on the soft era, the era that she probably is more traditional than not. She's doing podcast episodes talking about baking sourdough bread in her free time and knitting. That is not speaking to the liberal progressive base that is going out and getting drunk and doing all that. So I think there's a balance here, but I think just like any woman, her and some other celebrities in her circle have been showing that this is at the end of the day where we landed. I think she just did not find the right man that made her want these things in order to talk about them and produce an album.
We spoke last week about Buddy B being at the Super Bowl and the NFL getting that decision slightly wrong. Bunny Baxter, producer Vic is...
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. Producer Vic is telling me off in my ear. Bad Bunny. Yes. We talked about last week, the NFL getting it wrong. Culturally, there's clearly been a shift in America. Politically, there's been a shift. The cultural shift often takes a little bit longer to get there. We touched on earlier about sort of this kind of cultural Trumpism is taking a little longer to seep through. Is there anyone in the music world and the music scene that's actually slightly ahead of the curve and is actually reaching out to sort of the MAGA listeners?
I mean, we definitely have artists that are doing that. I think right now what a lot of musicians are faced with is, do they want to say something to get the viral clip, to get the publicity? And that's where we had Zach Bryan just come out with a teaser on his Instagram.
Country singer Zach Bryan.
Country singer. So, by the way, this man is known for being 5'2", viral for bar fights, being in aggressive, abusive relationships, cheating on his girlfriend's wives. And he comes out, and by the way, the MAGA base was behind him with all of that stuff, okay? So hanging by a thread. He comes out, teases a song called Bad News on his Instagram, where he talks about ICE and he talks about the law, or the law enforcement. And
pro or for, just to be clear.
Yeah, and I can't imagine coming after the only base that is supporting you at this point. I mean, where does he think that he's going to land? I think he's
attacking ICE.
He's attacking ICE.
Right. Okay.
And so he's been in the military too as well. But he's a drunken mess. He's not somebody that's making good decisions out loud. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is something again we're seeing and. The issue I have with this, as somebody who commentates on pop culture a lot, is the musicians and the actors. What they're overseeing to get that viral clip, to get some recognition, to get some skin in the game, because if you go political, you will. What they're missing is that teens and younger people are getting radicalized online by Antifa, by the left, by all of this. And I mean, we saw this with Charlie Kirk's assassination. So them feeding in this narrative where they don't really know much about, but they just want to get a viral hit, a viral clip.
Well, talking of viral clips and short men, Socialist Congress Queen AOC has got into extraordinary row this week with Donald Trump's chief advisor, man leading the charge before ICE and on immigration matters, Stephen Miller. He's the deputy chief of staff of the White House, who is 5'10", I've checked. Let's see what AOC had to say about this.
Laugh at them. Stephen Miller is a clown. I've never seen that guy in real life, but he looks like he's like 4'10", and he looks like he is angry about the fact that he's 4'10", and he looks like he is so mad that he is 4'10", that he's taking that anger out at any other population possible. Like, laugh at them. Laugh at them.
Now, AOC was hit by a very short backlash. And she says she now instead loves the short king community after upsetting the sort of lesser heightened people of the world. This is a woman that is built, a brand on be kind, Polly, bringing in sort of niceties of politics. Imagine if Stephen Miller had a pop about AOC's looks. He'd be in the stocks right now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's not going to do it, so I will. The bartender is bartending here. And if you thought word salad was bad, this is word salad 2.0 in a hoodie. Okay, this is embarrassing. And it's like, what are you saying? What are you actually saying? So it's all embarrassing. And by the way, this is the Democratic nominee for 2028.
Potentially, yeah.
You have Gotta be kidding me.
The worst candidate possibly since Kamala Harris.
Absolutely.
But like, I mean, the Democrats and the Republicans, we saw the sombrero wars last week, a sort of meme war where Donald Trump was winding up the left with these sombreros, and then Stephen Miller, who is actually 5'10", not 4'10", is a bit of a bogeyman for the left, but they don't really seem to be landing any blows. They're sort of scrambling around with these sort of slightly deranged videos. What have the Dems got to do? What have they got to do to get into gear?
It's ridiculous. They keep getting caught up in their own outrage. They're addicted to it. They are addicted to their own outrage. Whenever you see them talking, it's always to slam us. They don't have anything original. They're running on the same issues that America has already responded to in November. Listen, Trump swept the swing states. He took the popular vote, and they still can't read the room.
So she's obviously upset the short king community.
Yeah.
But there is there's a line of argument that actually we're in the government shutdown at the moment, and the Democrats are shifting to the left because of people like AOC and her online following. Presumably, that's what you as a woman of the right, that's exactly you want to see in the run up to the midterms next year.
Oh yeah.
In the run up to the next presidential cycle, is that the Democrats shifting wildly off to the left, right?
Mm-hmm. Listen, the more she talks, the more we win. It's incredible.
So you want her to be
stop.
nominated?
I want her to keep going and going and going. And the more hoodies, the better. Because listen, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look refined. And I can't believe that she is going to be one of the ones that they put forward.
But, I mean, who can it be? Can anyone beat her?
I don't know. It's such a disaster. It's such a mess. I mean, they're going to try to throw Gavin Newsom in the ring and shove him down our throats.
Well,
as
we had America's toxic boyfriend, as he's been so delightfully named. So, Adrienne Gray, look, thank you for coming. I can't believe I can't believe I managed to sustain an in-depth philosophical conversation about the life of a showgirl.